Alrighty, so we've got a rematch here. So it's Tecia Torres versus Angela Hill. So Angela Hill has slightly bigger frame. I guess everyone would against Tecia, really. But she's got a 2-inch height advantage and a 3.5-inch reach advantage. Alright, so we'll break down the strike into these two. So for Angela Hill, she comes in with that Muay Thai background. Likes to use all 8 points of striking. Knees, elbows, shins, fists, I guess, yeah. Very right hand heavy though. I'd probably say she throws the right hand more than any other punch she throws by a landslide. Very right, straight, heavy. She likes to angle off on her striking entries, tries to not be, completely linear to you when she's throwing her right hand. But it's usually just a step to the right and then she throws a straight right. So that's what she's throwing for a lot of her volume. Nice jab as well. Nice jab. She's, used her length there well. When she gets in the clinch knees to the body, slashing elbows up the top. That's the Muay Thai background coming in. For Tecia Torres, she's very speedy. Obviously, you got to have speed if you're going to be that height, or else, yeah, what's God given you? But she definitely has a speed advantage in this one. She definitely has a speed advantage over most people. And when she lets her hands go, she is very quick and very good. Yeah, Blitz 1-2 is her go-to with the hands. Tries to use her speed to kind of, bulldoze the opponent. Try and get a few good shots off before they can even get their own punch back. Mixes in the kicks nicely as well. Good variety on kicks. Go for jumping switch kicks, all that kind of stuff. Spinning back kick. Switch body kicks. I think she throws more kicks than Angela Hill, which is surprising because Angela does have that Muay Thai background, but I'd say Tecia throws a lot more kicks, which is good. It's always good to mix things in, make people think about something else. Whereas with Angela Hill, a lot of the time it's the right hand or the clinch. But Tecia, historically she's been very tentative against long strikers or good strikers like Joanna, Marina, other people I just can't think of. But yeah, she's been very aggressive lately. But could that be because she's facing smaller opponents? Because her last two opponents were very small. Sam Hughes isn't small, but she's not on the level of Tecia. But Brianna Van Buren is small, and maybe that's why she was so aggressive. But historically she's been a little tentative against long strikers, so I'd like to see her pick up the aggression here because I think that's when she's at her best. Tecia can also mix in the takedowns. Her technique on her takedowns isn't great. She will go for the blast double, but it's more of the explosion that helps her, and her athleticism that gets the opponents down. And also it's women's MMA, and the wrestling level isn't as high as you would see in men's MMA. But a lot of her takedowns are mostly just because she's very athletic and she has quite the explosion when she does go for it. And Angela Hill, she just looks like a fish out of water on her back. She doesn't look like she has too much off her back at all. How these guys win fights, so I like the aggression that Tecia's been showing in her last two fights. Hoping she brings it into this one because that's when I do believe she's at her best, and you can't just be tentative when you're at a constant frame disadvantage and a reach disadvantage. So yeah, you just can't do that. But Tecia has good cardio. I have my reservations about Angela Hill's cardio. I do think Tecia has the cardio advantage here. For both of them, they have good striking defense. I think both are mid-60s on UFCstats.com. Both, yeah, pretty good striking defense. How these guys lose fights for Angela Hill, she has, bottom game. Talked about that before. I think it's below average, if I have to, for me, nice about it. And also when she fights off the back foot, it's just the visual for the judges. She usually gets in very close fights. The volume's roughly the same. Nobody's really landing too many power shots. The only difference that the judges can see is that one person's going forward and the other person's backing up, and they generally just give it to the person going forward. But yeah, so she has turned that around a little bit though. I have noticed in her past few fights, she's been, a little bit more aggressive, taking the front foot, which is good. So I like the aggression that these guys are showing in their last few fights, but that also could have been because they're facing low-level competition. I'm not talking about Hill because she's been facing decent. I'm talking about, when she faces Loma, Hannah Cyphers, and Ashley Yoder. But yeah, anyway. Past the victory for these two. So for Torres, she got to be aggressive. You got to get her on the back foot. And for Angela Hill, you've got to take the front foot as well. But also keep distance. Use feints to keep distance. She doesn't really feint too much, but it would be nice if you did it here. Volume on the jabs, volume on the twos. Straight knees as she is closing distance, because she's going to be coming forward, trying to bulldoze you over. And at that shorter frame that she has, maybe you could land a knee to the face there. But also find the clinch. Tecia lets people get double unders on her quite easily, so if you can get the double unders and then control the clinch, throw some knees there, that'd be good. And for Tecia Torres, look to mix in takedowns. At the end of a close round, look to get a late takedown in an exchange. Just put your stamp on the round. But lately she's been going really hard at the end of rounds. I really like that because generally women's MMA, you're going to decision. You got to learn how to win rounds if you want to, thrive in this division and in these type of divisions. But also blast double's going to be there. Angela Hill squares her stance a little bit. Stands pretty tall, so yeah, potentially the blast double's there as well. How I see the fight going. So both these guys are known for putting up very competitive fights against solid competition, but ultimately like a level below the contenders in the division. I'm recording this on the 26th of July, but I can already see the narrative coming around. Well, just I'm expecting a lot of people to say this, that Marina and Joanna beat Tecia Torres with their kickboxing. So maybe Angela Hill can do the same, but you can't really compare those guys to Angela Hill. They're nowhere near. Angela Hill is nowhere near the level of those two guys in the level of kickboxing. I don't think Torres needs to fear the striking of Hill too much, as she has against Marina and Joanna, because they'll make you pay, when you close distance. But with Angela Hill, honestly, there's a few moves that you need to watch out for. But if you slip that straight right and you get in the pocket, you can really just throw your combinations and really let off there. There's not too many strawweights that are going to punish you when you enter the pocket and then you start throwing your combinations. Not too many power punches. But the ones I listed before, they're the ones that can really punish you with knees, devastating techniques. But honestly, just going full rabies with the aggression is just the move at this weight class, at this level. Like if you're not in the top 5, it's just the move. Yeah, because they're not really going to punish you that much. You just got to go in the pocket and just land your shots. I lean Hill on the feet, but if Tecia comes in with that aggression that she showed against Van Buren and Hughes, then I'd take Torres on the feet. I think it's just whoever's on the front foot will be winning the striking battle in the judges' eyes, honestly. I think Tecia should look to ground this fight. I think Hill's a bit of a white belt off her back. Hill's takedown defense has improved a lot since their first meeting, but it's still a path to victory for Torres. It's just not such an obvious one this time around. I feel like Angela Hill is a little bit overrated by the general public. I mean, she's beaten like nobody, really. Let's have a look at her record. 13-9. Yoda. Lol. Michelle Waterson, it's a close fight. As I said before, these guys put up competitive fights against good competition, but they're just a level below. Gladalia, she didn't win that fight. Gladalia, sorry. Loma, we'll talk in a few years, but I think Loma could beat her down the track. But good win for her there. Cyphers, not really. Carnelosi, not really a good win. Shaonan beat her. Marcos beat her. Marcos subbed her in the first round. Ugh. Courtney Casey beat her. Just anytime she gets a step on a competition, she loses, really. When you have a look at her record, beating nobody. Tecia, on the other hand, I guess she hasn't been too many. She beat Waterson, she beat Angela Hill, she beat Herrig. I mean, she generally loses when she gets a step up a competition too, but she's been facing much higher level competition than Angela Hill. She's been facing Zhang, she's been facing Jacek, she's been facing Andrade, Marina Rodriguez, Nami Yunus. Hill would lose decisively to all those people. But yeah, I completely forgot that they had fought before. That was 6 years ago. Wasn't the most memorable fight. I think Tecia just pretty much took her down and controlled her for the most part, and that's how she won the rounds. But I think she also was quite competitive on the feet too. It wasn't a very memorable fight, but you know, both have improved a lot since then. I'm hoping for a fun scrap here. Should be quite entertaining, but yeah, let's have a look at the betting lines. Hey, if you guys could like the video, that'd be awesome. Cheers for that. Thanks so much. Yeah, all that good stuff, blah, blah, blah. All right, so the prediction is, well, I think it's basically a 50-50. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to split either way. If I have to pick, just to make it interesting, I'll pick, obviously. I'll pick Torres by decision. I would favour an aggressive Torres by quite a considerable margin, but generally with the way that she comes into fights, I'd say it's a 50-50. But also that unpredictability with Tecia Torres kind of makes it a 50-50, you know what I mean? So bets I was looking at, maybe a live bet on Torres, you know, if she's not getting blown out of the water on the feet, but like kind of loses the first round, and the odds are pretty crazy, like Angela Hill's like, you know, minus 300 and Tecia Torres like plus 180 or something like that, then, you know, I'd have a look at that, because I think she would win the later rounds at a higher clip. Yeah, but just the dog probably in this fight. I'm not really looking to bet anyone unless they get up to $2.30 or plus 130, and you might as well just bet by decision as well if you like either of these fighters, unless it's like the exact same price, because, you know, no exaggeration, there's like 5% chance this fight ends at a finish, really. Like, they're probably not gonna sub each other. Very low percentage that there will be a finish in this fight via strikes. But yeah, if it's really close, just grab the money line. But if there's a teeny bit of edge that you can see on the decision line, then maybe go that. But, you know, I don't really like anything in this fight. I think the line is basically correct.